that you should start music with your child when they are in vitro, in your womb. You know, make them listen to music, make them, you listen to music.
Oh, I started learning when I was in my mother's womb, and my daughters also from that time.
So I still remember my times table was always in the tal,
You see, there's 1 out of a million who will become that glamorous musician or really good musician.
I have been so grateful for it, especially during COVID.
And that becomes a competition. How well have you sung? How many songs have you sung?
आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
Hello everyone. Today I have a very special guest with me. Her name is Vishala. She runs the Sound Space. I have known about them for a very long time, and I'm so excited that today she's here to share with us the benefits of music.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. It's very, very exciting to be here.
Oh, lovely. So tell us, why do you do what you do?
Music has been a part of my life since I was not even born. My father has been a musician, and our childhood was full of music. So we grew up, we woke up to the sound of Rag Bhairav because my father would be singing it. We studied with music and tal and rhythmic cycles because it really helps to, help the brain waves to kind of come together and make sense. So I still remember my times table was always in the tal, So it was all very exciting. I think our life was fun because as a family, we spent time together, doing music, singing together, using music as a relaxation technique. And I feel like because I had it in my life, I have been so grateful for it, especially during COVID. I think so many people went through so much mental, imbalance and discomfort. And I felt I had my best friend with me at all times. And it really makes me wonder why more people can't have the joy of music or of an art with them.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do, and that's why. And, I think life teaches you that you need something to be able to pour your heart into and to express yourself through. And for me, music has been that. So I'm extremely passionate about it.
Beautiful.
And as many people as it can reach, that's the aim.
Wow, you sound passionate, really passionate.
Yeah.
And so tell me, music is a form of expression.
Yeah.
How can somebody who's not formally trained in music take music to express themselves? Or do they have to get a formal training?
Not at all. So I think music is something that can be given some direction to. I don't think that anybody needs to become a professional singer at the end of it or a professional instrument player at the end of it. I feel like music can be just a safe way to express your emotions. It gives you a little bit of a guideline or a little bit of direction. Doing it with a teacher or a guru initially helps you to understand what it can do for you. But eventually it is your journey and your goal.
Yeah.
So I think it's such a safe way, especially for children to express, Children respond to music naturally. A lullaby is a song, ABCD. I mean, I know only few people who can say the alphabet without singing it in their head, right? You're just singing it in your head.
Yeah.
Because we are naturally meant to respond to music.
Okay.
So giving your child or giving a person that little direction and how to use it is only helping them to develop that safe space for themselves.
Wow.
And then whether you choose to use songwriting, which is a great way of expression, it's to make up songs and sing when you're eating something or, having a shower, or even if you're just using it as a catharsis when you're listening.
Okay.
So sometimes you might know that when you're feeling a little low, you're feeling a little tired, you play some music and it'll help you to feel what you want to feel, right? Like sometimes you want something energetic, sometimes you want something relaxing, sometimes you just want to cry it out, you want to listen to sad heartbreak songs. All this is catharsis and all this is expression.
Wow. So you also mentioned that you've studied music as healing, as a healing technique. Can you elaborate on that?
So there are various routes to using music as healing.
Okay.
One is the rag chikits, which is using Indian rags
Hmm.
to create different moods and different outcomes. In the past, in the Vedas, there was a lot of the use of music to heal and to regenerate and to rejuvenate. There's also the idea of the chakras, the chakras being in balance or
Yes.
imbalance, and
Yes.
each of the chakras responds to a particular frequency and a particular seed sound.
Hmm.
So what happens is you can first you have to figure out the alignment of the chakras, and then you can use instruments or you can use the human voice
Hmm.
to impact that particular chakra using that particular frequency and that particular sound.
Wow.
And then that is how the healing takes place.
Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
This is so amazing. I never knew about this.
It's actually a very deep study. There's lots to be studied and lots to be accomplished on that front.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of work that's starting to happen now with
Yeah.
chakra healing.
So tell me the frequency bit,
Mhm.
as a healing technique,
Yeah,
and sound therapy.
yeah.
Are these the same?
It is, because the frequency is the sound.
Hmm.
And the person who's creating that sound, whether they're doing it on an instrument or they're doing it with their voice, needs to have the know-how of how to create that sound.
Yeah.
To create it in a relaxing manner.
Yeah.
Sound can really impact the way that you're feeling. I mean, if you were to close your eyes right now and think about a station and all the sounds that it creates, it's going to make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you close your eyes and you think about the sound of the waves on the beach or the
Yeah.
sound of the river, it's going to make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah.
You're not a musician, right?
Right.
But instantly you're going to feel that.
Yes.
It's because of our hard wiring. It's because we
Oh.
react to sound like that.
Wow.
So if you can direct a particular sound towards a particular goal, it has to work.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Yeah.
And so tell me, at what age can one start learning music? And till what age can they learn music with you?
Oh, we start at 9 months, 8 months. So you come in with your parent. But my theory is that you should start music with your child when they are in vitro, in your womb. You know, make them listen to music. Make them, you listen to music. Help, because also sing to your child or, speak to your child in a rhythmic manner, even when they are in the womb, because hearing develops very early on in the pregnancy for a child. So, they are already reacting to your voice. That's why the mother's voice is always very soothing for the child, because that's the voice they connect with, you know. And even if the mothers, sometimes they tell me, but I can't sing. And I'm always telling them that doesn't matter. For your child, your voice is the sweetest. So, sing to your children.
Are there any scientific evidence backing this?
Yes, about auditory expression right in the beginning of the pregnancy. Yes, I think at 4 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Yeah.
And is there any evidence which says that or proves that music heals?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons of
Can it be an
evidence.
alternative to medicine?
So you're asking the wrong person, because I definitely believe so.
Yeah.
I don't think that is proven,
Yes,
really.
yeah.
And I don't think that I could. So I wouldn't think that a music therapist or a healer will ever say that, okay, don't go to the doctor, I'll take care of you.
I know.
I
what
don't think
mean.
I would go as far as to say
Yes.
that. But yes, in your healing process, this
Yes.
can be a really major help and a really major, support system for your healing journey. That being said, there are people who claim to have been healed by music healing. I just don't know if I would like to go that far to say that.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And if somebody wanted to make their own music, write a song or create music,
Yes.
what are the initial steps?
I think initially you would have to channel your thought. It would be really nice if you could bounce ideas off of someone, which is why it's always nice to have peers. When we teach, we always recommend that you learn in a group, because you have peers, you have friends, you have people like-minded. You grow together, you learn together, you have a teacher, a guru.
Yeah.
It's always nice to bounce those ideas off. And then it's just a creative process. I mean, you think about it, you write what comes to your heart, and it's just creatively will come to you. In fact, when my partner and my sister Kamakshi and I, sometimes we write music. Sometimes it will be while we're sitting at a bar. Sometimes it is while we are sitting at home really focusing. Sometimes it's when we're just jamming together and something new comes out. So the creative process is different for everyone. I think allowing yourself to just not be inhibited and just pour out your emotions is the beginning of all art.
Okay. Wow. And so tell me, a lot of people, feel anxious these days. you know, using music,
Yeah.
what are the top 3 ways that you would recommend them to manage their anxiety?
So I would say listening to instrumental music. I'm a major proponent of Indian music, so I will say like the sitar. It's very good for relaxation. It's also very good for creating new energy. So I would say listening to something like that. There are certain rags that also bring out that feeling of relaxation. And like for example, Rag Yaman is a wonderful rag that I listen to every time I'm feeling a little worked up. And also listening to calming sounds in nature. We don't get that in our city life.
Yes.
So if you can get away and you can give yourself that, the whatever works for you. Sometimes birds chirping. For me, it's water.
Yeah.
So the sea, a stream, the river, the rain, those are things that really work for me to help me. That's also sound healing, So it depends on who you are and what you like.
Yeah.
But if you can get yourself to a place where you can hear the sounds of nature, that also really, really helps.
Wow. Amazing. That's so good. I mean, I think this is going to be very helpful to, our listeners. Would you like to, by any chance, sing a small,
Sure.
song
Of
that
course.
you like or something?
Of course.
Okay.
What kind of?
Anything that's your favorite or something that, according to you, is very calming.
Okay, so since I mentioned Rag Yaman, I'll sing my favorite ghazal in that rag. I sing it all the time, but I personally really enjoy singing.
Wow, you're such a
so-
sport.
No, of course. आज जाने की जिद ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो यूं ही पहलू में बैठी रहो यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
Amazing. Can we have a round of applause for her?
Thank you.
Wow, amazing. We really needed
Thank
it.
you.
By the
Oh,
end of
anytime.
this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
so lovely to have you today.
Yeah, it was lovely to be here. Lovely chatting. Thank you for
Thank
asking
you.
me questions that actually made me think. And actually, I feel
Yeah.
like this is the message we're trying to give to
Yeah.
people. So it was really nice chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise. Okay. Is there any message that you would like to give to our audience?
Make music a part of your everyday life, because it is really, it's really magical and it really, really works. So whether it's music or it's dance or it's painting, some sort of art, some sort of expression in your life, give it direction, because it's inside each and every one of you. You just have to bring it out and nurture it a little bit, and you'll see how it supports you for the rest of your life.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Today I have Kamakshi on our Unmasked by Skin Yoga podcast, and she runs this amazing company called The Sound Space with her sister. And I want her to tell us how music can help with health and wellness. So Kamakshi, thank you so much for taking time and coming on our podcast.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us how did you start with The Sound Space and what does it mean?
So I think since we're talking about wellness, and I think the very important thing that I had in my life was music all the time, right? So every time we were in the home, we would wake up in the morning to a beautiful rag. We would sing together as a family. Any occasion, any situation, it is always about how we used music at the dinner table or while playing with our friends, So music was is a very integral part of our lives. And I found that we are a lot more somewhere grounded,
Okay.
because we had this beautiful aspect in our life. And as we grew up and we went through our teenage years and now majorly adulting, it's something we kept going back to feel that sense of self and groundedness.
Right.
So I think that is the key to any wellness, right?
Right. Of
So,
course.
and we always had that in our
Yeah.
home.
Okay.
So and that's where we decided that let's bring this to many more.
Okay.
Let's see how we can bring this to a lot of people.
Yeah, sure. But music is usually taken as a hobby,
Right.
unless you really make it big
Correct.
in the industry.
Correct.
But you have taken it as a profession,
Right.
So how did that decision come?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting question, because everybody looked at my sister and me and said, "Oh, you guys must go on to some, glamorous show, or you must, and then there was some sort of a calling that said that let's use this power that we have to be able to really see. There's 1 out of a million who will become that glamorous musician or really good musician. But let's use this power that we have and bring it to many." And of course, that many years ago when we really started off, it was like, okay, do it as a hobby, try it out, test it out. And we kept saying, okay, we'll try it out, test it out. And now I don't think that music today is only for performance or for Bollywood, or it is a lot more. And we provide job opportunities to so many women to become music educators.
Oh wow!
So it's not that it's just that picture anymore. It has changed over time, and I would like to say we are one of the pioneers in that process of change.
No,
Yes.
absolutely. And at what age do you start teaching kids music?
Oh, I started learning when I was in my mother's womb, and my daughters also from that time.
Okay.
So there's no real teaching.
But right now in sound
But
space?
formally, to us, they come when they're 1 year old.
Oh wow!
And some parents even bring them before that.
Oh.
So just not to learn anything, but to experience it and to take it in the subconscious mind.
Okay.
The formal learning starts at 4 years.
Okay.
But before that, the children who have been coming and experiencing the music, you see that they have a little edge
Yeah.
on some levels.
Okay. So,
Yes.
is there any scientific evidence that you are aware of
Yes.
that helps children,
Yes.
navigate their emotions better,
Of course.
or become more clever?
Yeah. So I think that when a child has a sense of self and surroundings, there's a lot better chance of us as educators to work with those children, right? So one very interesting example is the Mozart effect, where a lot of the music that has been composed by Mozart is 1 beat per second, right? And that is the level at which our brain is regulating. So to come in sync with that music was created, and so there's a blending over there.
Okay.
Also listening to certain instruments at different times of the day, a different like the flute in the morning is a very inspiring sound.
Okay.
So to play the sound of the bansuri for children as they are waking up is a
Okay.
wonderful tip to help them to feel charged up for the day.
Oh, wow.
And of course, when we're working with children, we're working with the left and right brain, because music is all about that rhythm and pitch,
Okay.
and how these two things are working with both sides of the brain, which obviously enhances concentration. So there are so many things that music can help with. Language development.
Okay.
So we work a lot with children who have cochlear implants and hearing impairment to help them to listen better, which will then eventually help them to speak better.
Okay.
So there's a range of things that
Wow.
music
And-
can really help with.
And how specifically does it help with emotional wellness?
So your emotional hormones, like you think about yourself. Let's not complicate it. You think about yourself. When you're feeling sad, you want to listen to a sad song, right? And to feel a little bit more sad till you get over that emotion, and then you want to move on to something better. So that's what you want from a friend too, right? When you're talking to a friend, first you want your friend to hear you out and say, I understand your pain. So immediately you pick that sort of music. And then you move on to say, okay, now listen, we need to get out of this. We need to get better. And then you pep yourself up, and then you pep it up even further, right? And even when you go for a concert, or even when a DJ starts to play music, this is the movement of the music that really happens.
Yeah.
So that is the impact that music and sound can have on you. Another very simple example is, however your mother sings doesn't matter. But a baby, when he or she hears the mother's humming, automatically calms down. And this, as parents, we all know, and we've seen this happen. It doesn't matter if you're a great singer or not, right? But it's the mother's voice.
Singer, but okay, clearly not.
Let me burst that bubble. I don't know, I haven't heard you, but
so interesting.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So these are very basic things, you know.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can get into the technical things.
Yeah.
But these are life examples.
Okay, so what about kids today?
Yes.
You know, I think they have far less focus.
Yeah.
A lot more anxiety. How can they use music, you know, so they feel better? Or us parents, how can we make sure that our kids can, you know, use music to feel better?
You're right. See, one thing that I feel, and from personal experience, is that music instills a sense of discipline, which I think children completely lack today. There's too much pressure, right?
Yeah.
So they're just running around trying to get so many things done. But I think that music gives direction and helps you to focus. For example, if you're learning the piano, you're using your left hand and your right hand. If your focus shifts or drifts, you will not get it. It's as simple as that. So you're in a natural way helping children to focus. And then if you really want to improve at the music, you have to practice. There's no other way out, basically, of it. So then again, you have to focus and get back to it and do it, you know. So I think learning an art form, be it music or dance or fine art, brings a sense of focus and discipline in a very beautiful manner in a child's life. So I think that's something that will really bring an art form into your child's life. It's truly beneficial.
So when a child starts music early on, right? Say at the age of 1 or 4 or whenever they feel fit, till what age can they keep learning music?
I mean, we're all still learning. So there's no age that you can stop. In fact, some of our students who are in the 10th grade, they want to continue this. They don't want to leave it because it really helps them to calm down and be with themselves and really do something for themselves, you know. So there is no end to this learning. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. Now, are there any specific sounds, like 2 or 3 sounds that you can share with us that can specifically be practiced with kids to calm them down?
Om chanting, I think, or the humming sound, you know, like you will automatically see the environment shift. Another thing that you can explore is the Bij mantras.
Okay.
That are seed sounds.
Okay.
Which affect the various chakras in the body. You know. So you will, when you read about these mantras, they're just sounds, and Om is actually one of them, and that helps children to focus on different parts of their body also, and their sensibility and their state of mind. But I think even humming, simple humming, is extremely calming and beneficial.
So the child needs to hum.
Yes, you can start together, and then you can bring the child into, like, maybe a little circle at home, you know, with the children and the parents, and do this together as a practice. I think it'll be very beneficial.
Wow. Okay, now you teach a lot of kids. You meet kids every day. What are the few emotions that you feel kids are navigating today? Like, I'm sure it's different from what it used to be, but what is it that you feel?
I think self-worth is something that children are really struggling with. Having the need to keep up a certain pace is what they are struggling with. I just think that social media, to a great extent, I mean, you know, is somewhere bringing this sense to children that they have to keep up, they have to be liked, they have to be loved, they have to be adored. Whether it's genuine or not, we don't know. But and if it doesn't come our way, that means we're not good enough. I think this is the biggest struggle that children are facing today.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Not
And
just children, I think
all of us.
everyone is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And one way is to avoid it, and the other way is to look solace in things like music,
Yes.
so that they can, make
That
them more
again,
grounded again.
I mean, we're speaking about this, but to be
Yeah.
very honest, again, that becomes a competition. How well have you sung? How many songs have you sung? So so a lot of till a certain age, we don't allow children to sing solo.
Ah.
We have a choral singing
Okay.
session
Okay.
for children. When they perform as a group, and the children come from everywhere in the city.
Okay.
So that means that whether you are, whatever you are all singing together. That happens till a certain age, till they understand that this is not a competition, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an experience
It's
that
an
you enjoy
experience.
together.
And then after you break that age, you move up, then, okay, you pursue it, then you're pushed to do whatever you have to do. But
Yeah.
till a certain age, everybody sings together.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's so important.
Yes.
And now tell me, there are musical instruments, electric as well as traditional.
Yes.
I have always seen you guys use more traditional equipment.
Yes.
Is there any thought process behind it?
See, we are constantly talking about Indian music and how we want to bring Indian music to children, and we want to bring it in an approachable manner.
Yeah.
Really, there are no electric instruments as such, right, in the traditional. But having said that, if a certain performance or a certain song has the requirement, why not? Since we are talking about moving with the times, I mean, if a certain, yes, of course, it will not be the one we'll bring to our class or the first choice, but definitely if there is a song or there is a situation that requires it, we would be open to using that as well.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing so much. Do you have one last piece of advice to all the listeners watching this?
Yes. I think it's really very important to make music a part of your life. And don't worry if you can't sing well or you don't understand it. Just embrace it and appreciate it, because it will really help you to get along this journey, which sometimes can have its ups and downs. It's a great friend. So that's what I would like to tell everyone.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.